Good evening, everybody. How are you doing tonight? What is this? Joe Rogan memed on Hilla Klein for being self-righteous. Well, good for Joe Rogan. Good for Joe Rogan. Yeah, I don't think I have anything positive to say about the Klein clan. I probably don't. So we're gonna not talk about them tonight if we can avoid it. But you know what? I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of topics. First off, there's some things from Monday that we skipped over and really talk about that I did want to mention. First, I want to read through the apology that Jeff Leach issued out. And to be clear, I don't think it was a good move because we know how when it comes to cancel culture, apologies get used by the people going after you as like an admission of your guilt, right? So apologizing generally doesn't work because the people that are supporting you already think it's bullshit, and the people who are going against you just again they want to see you get canceled. They don't want to they don't want to accept your apology. They don't want to say that you've changed, right? But it's a generic apology. It's not like a zombie unicorn and whatever. I am so sorry for the things that I've said. It's nothing like that. It's more like, hey, if I said something that offended you, I'm sorry. To anyone who watches me, I guess is the best way of putting it. I don't know. I think it's stupid to do it. I don't think it helps with anything, but you know, his decision, and hopefully it works out for him, I guess is the best way of putting it. Let's see here. Hello. Sen, how you doing, buddy? Did we not give you a link? We probably didn't give you a link. Let me do that. And I'm going to pull up the first topic we're going to go over tonight afterwards. All right, there you go. So, there's this new Superman series that they're going to be doing. And I look at it and I'm going like, what the fuck? Right? Like it seems like they've taken their inspiration on animation from something. Look, I look at this where it's like a race swap Jimmy Olsen, and I'm going like, I mean, I look at that image and I'm like, no, it's literally just Jimmy Olsen, but black, right? Like literally nothing about the character of Jimmy Olsen seems like it will be any different, and he's just a black guy now, and I'm like, I don't know how to feel about it, because if you're gonna race swap the character, like, is it literally just that? Like, could you have just made him Asian if you wanted to, right? He should have been Indian. Yeah, like maybe. Well, here's the thing. Maybe that's my problem, right? Maybe that's my problem. They did Black Jimmy Olsen on Supergirl. They did, but it was a completely different character. You know, he was still Superman's pal, right? But he wasn't like this nerdy kind of fucking weird kid who's just following around whatever Superman does, right? It wasn't any of that shit. Okay. So I look at it and I'm just going like, this just reads like classic Jimmy Olsen. And I'm like, I don't know. It just, maybe because we've already seen Black Jimmy Olsen and he was a completely different character. I don't know. It just reads weird to me. It just reads weird to me. And also like I don't get it. Maybe it's just about the whole like, you know, push for diversity and everything. But it kind of seems like maybe what you would want to do instead is like take an already established hero that's of whatever ethnic group you're trying to show support of and like give them their TV show. Like, I mean, because there's got to be plenty, right, between DC and Marvel that just aren't being used. I mean, I know like a lot of people like Vixen, for instance. And I mean, if we were being like completely honest, everybody likes Static. So why not like, why not just give us shows of like actual like characters that are minorities instead of race swapping Jimmy fucking Olsen? Like, I don't know how do you say it, but like that's basically fucking that's basically like fucking table scraps when you think about it. It's basically fucking table scraps when you think about it. But I don't know. Someone said Beta Clark Kent. Who's I wouldn't I don't know. It's just a photo, and to be honest, Clark Kent he kind of lets people push him around and he stays in the background. It's kind of like why people don't know he's Superman, even though Superman doesn't really wear like anything to hide his identity. It's because Clark Kent's going around here like a fumbling idiot, and people just would never expect him to be Superman. So the fact that you're saying he looks so wimpy, I don't know. It seems like that could be just standard Clark Kent. What's up, Sen?
So you're talking about comics, Superman?
Well, what is this? It's Black Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, they did that on Supergirl. Like
they did.
I thought it was the same character though. I thought they just made him more like, you know, cool and shit or something. Because but the problem with that is it kind of defeats the purpose of the character and its originality, like originally. Because like, you know, Jimmy Olsen wasn't like he wasn't tall, he wasn't fit, like pretty much everything this guy was, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
It kind of like, it's like, all right, this guy is like probably like a model and shit. He's probably eye candy for the girls and everything, but like it defeats the purpose of what the character was. Because the thing with the character is it's like, oh, Supergirl is like this hot blonde or whatever, right? And she got with like this dorky kind of fucking ginger dude, right? And it's like, oh, you can never see that happening, but it's like, oh, look at that, he pulled that in. That was like one of the things that made it like kind of like original also. But now it's like, oh, Supergirl kind of hot blonde got with this this black guy who's like pretty much like, you know, probably cucking other guys over there on the side, but you know what I mean. Like it kind of just defeated that.
Wait. Do you think that Supergirl and Jimmy Olsen hooked up in the comics?
Did they? I thought they did.
No, they didn't.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's wild. What the fuck? Then what did they do? What happened?
Dude, it's a fucking CW drama man show.
No. I mean, wait, didn't they do that in the original comics? Didn't they?
No, they didn't fucking. What the fuck, dude? Like, where have you been?
Oh, they didn't? I thought they did.
No. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
Never mind. Well, that would have been a good concept. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know why they didn't do that.
Okay, so like your criticism doesn't even fucking exist.
It's still not like true to the comics. Plus, I
mean, obviously, you didn't fucking know that.
I think Supergirl and this Jimmy Olsen got together, so then it's kind of like a backwards kind of thing.
Look. Honestly, you knew that was coming because of where the show is, right? It's fucking CW. They're gonna throw in that fucking. It's annoying, right? It is. I don't think it helps out the character in any way, shape, or form. But that's what they wanted to go with, and of course, they made him a super attractive hot dude because their target demographic is gonna want that.
Yeah, for some reason though, like it's weird because CW is very like strange with its adaptations, right? They do this thing where they take certain characteristics of a certain person and then put them on somebody else, and they swap the genders, and then they like because they'll make a male character into a female character, and it seems like they only do that because of the pandering and stuff, not because it really adds anything else, right? Sometimes
Yeah,
it can
no, like
actually be problematic. In
but
fact,
that's the thing. I agree with you, and I think it's this issue where they don't. It's kind of like they don't trust the character that they have to work with. But in reality, it's probably just a push for diversity, right? The issue is, while they may not be as well known, there are some really good minority and female villains and heroes, right? And I put it when Marvel went and started like the MCU and everything. Iron Man was not like this amazing character, right? Iron Man was not this flagship character. Iron Man was Iron Man. He was kind of one of the
dick.
Marvel big shots, right?
Yeah.
But like,
and he was also a dick. Also,
yeah, I mean, he was not a household name. He was not Superman. He was not Batman. He was not Spider-Man. He was fucking Iron Man, right? Yeah. So, but Marvel went all in on it, right? And now Iron Man is this like huge thing, right? Everybody knows Iron Man. Everybody knows Avengers Endgame, all that stuff, right? But
yeah.
when
Well, that's because Iron Man always had a cool concept. They just didn't have the right actors to like adapt it, right? And when they did find like Robert Downey Jr., it's like I agree that role was practically made for him in multiple like for multiple reasons.
yeah,
And yeah, he actually like he's a pretty good like actor. He's pretty like what do you
yeah,
call
no,
it?
no, like
Charismatic. He kind of like brought that character to life, and then people are like, "Oh, okay." And then maybe they look more into the comics and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, this character is actually pretty cool." I can
but
dig
like
it.
that's what I mean, right? Like these when Marvel looks at some of these characters, like Iron Man was not a flagship kind of character. He's not like he if you look at everything that Marvel had at the time, right? Like Iron Man would be like the last hero you would expect to start a whole franchise off of, right? But it just worked, and they just had this amazing thing. Maybe you want to call it like lightning in a bottle or whatever, but it just fucking worked. Now Iron Man, household fucking name, like all these other heroes. But I sit there and I say,
I think the one that
these
did
people
like
don't
more
have
terribly though, Crow. I think
what
Captain America actually got the short end of the stick because like I don't think he's that popular, is he? In
I
terms
mean,
of
now
like,
he is, yeah.
is he still?
Yeah, dude, people love
I
Cap.
always thought he was like the least popular Avenger. Next to
No,
that Hawk guy, because nobody cares about that Hawk guy.
I mean, generally it's Hawkeye.
Yeah.
But look, no. Look, my issue is it feels like these people have zero faith in the concept of an actual minority superhero show, even though we've seen it work in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they should deliver to us. Instead, you get fucking Black Jimmy Olsen, and I'm like, that doesn't fucking work at all. That shit doesn't work at all, right? Like, give me an actual black superhero and give them their own show, right? And you know what? If it's a good fucking show, people are going to gravitate to it and watch it, like they did with Static Shock, right? It's not hard. This is not a difficult concept. Like, just fucking do it. And this shit is just it's obvious pandering, right, to diversity and everything, but it's so fucking obvious when you look at it. It's just like, okay, whatever, fuck you. Like, seriously, fuck you.
They also made Batwoman. Was it Batwoman? Yeah, it is Batwoman. They made her black as well, following the departure of the other Batwoman. So and I think that for the marketing, they actually emphasize the fact that she was black, which is kind of weird. because that just made it even more obvious, and it's kind of like telling you, okay, but well, like we don't like we don't care if she's black.
Well,
You
no,
guys seem to
actually,
care more than us, kind of thing.
it was funny. She put out this tweet at the time, and I think it was when they were showing off the costume and everything. And she actually referred to herself as Black Woman, and then she was like, "I mean, Batwoman," and I was like, "Oh god, that fucking hurt." that fucking hurt.
Cringe. Yeah, that show's not doing too well right now, I hear.
No, it's not. Like I think CW has alienated too much of their audience, and the group they have watching right now, I don't think that they want to drive them away by trying to bring in more people. But at the same time, it's like I look at this specific cartoon, and I'm just like, no, give me this Superman cartoon, and then give me a cartoon with like an actual black superhero as the lead, right? Or an actual female superhero as the lead, right? And if you fucking care about the product and you have a team of people working on it that are competent, right? The show is going to do well. But instead you do this shit, and it's just like, yeah, it's pandering, and it's really just kind of disgusting.
People have been wanting Static Shock for the longest time, but the problem with that is like the process to get it actually going is gonna be like it's a difficult process because of the properties and whatnot, and it doesn't belong to certain properties, so that some people have the license to it, and then shit like that. But that is one that I've seen a lot of people really want, like Static Shock.
Well,
like, everybody was like Static Shock.
The problem is
the black hero we've ever seen.
The problem is the money would have to go to the original creator.
Yeah,
right? Like a portion of it, and DC doesn't want to do that. That's why you see like they'll do a product with him, and then it'll go away immediately, right? It's really frustrating, honestly. But if you're serious about diversity and you want to promote like these black superheroes and everything, I think that maybe just bite the fucking bullet, do a fucking Static project. I know they're doing a couple now, right? Like there's a movie that's being worked on.
They are.
Yeah, they are there. But I'm like, give me that instead, right? Because you look at it, your audience that watched Static back then, they're adults now. Give us like the actual Static from the comics, right? Like your audience from back then, they are adults now. So give them a more adult experience with that project.
224 Vic says the creator of Static Shock's dead.
Well, yeah, but his estate, like he had a wife and everything. I know the creator's dead, but like his actual like estate and everything gets a portion of the money. With how tone deaf CW is, I wouldn't have been surprised if they marketed Batwoman's race swap as the Bat is back in black.
Oh my god. That's funny.
That would have been fucking great.
I wouldn't put it past them though. Like
I could see them doing that.
Like something must have held them back because they must have thought of that, and they're like, "Yeah, let's not push our luck or something." Because oh my god, those CW folks they're something else right now, man. Like, did you hear about the firing from one of the main cast members of The Flash?
The guy who played Elongated Man. Yeah, that shit pissed me off. I stopped watching The Flash after that.
A lot of people did that, dude. A lot of people
like,
reacted the way you did. It's like, yeah, no, we're done.
Because, it was really stupid shit that was said like 4 or 5 years ago, right? And I'm like, a lot of it that people were bringing up was really not that bad. Some of it, don't get me wrong, was really edgy. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, you took this guy's job away from him. And the worst part is like, in the show, you're doing like this whole story about like how you're friends and you all need to work together. And in real life, you guys like just walked up to this dude and stabbed him in the gut and left him to bleed. And I'm like, oh god. It's like,
oh my god. That's ruined. I never thought of that.
Ruined my immersion. Because now when I watch it, I'm waiting for Flash, right? To seriously just like go up to someone and just do that thing where he vibrates his arm and just shove it straight through someone's heart, right?
Yeah.
It's just fucking cold-blooded, man. But I get it.
Yeah, it sucks. A lot of people lost immersion. I lost immersion with that too. Of course, COVID also played a part in that, but like, it was like, yeah, well, this is kind of bullshit, and like all the signs were pointing for me to just stop watching, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna stop watching. Fuck this.
I just gave up. Like,
Oh, and
honestly,
they told, and like the other thing is, it was already kind of like swaying me away already because that season they made Mirror Master a woman. I don't think they had a story purpose for it. They just felt like making Mirror Master a woman, which was strange to me because again, there was really no reason to do it. It was just pandering. So it was already kind of like, not very interested in this because it's not original. Like it's not. They want to try to seem like it's original or whatever, but it's not. It's just pandering, and pandering is not original because everybody does it now.
yeah. See, that's what I mean, right? Like, give me one of his female villains, and if he doesn't have any, make your own. Like, it's not that hard. But like, and we've seen characters created for TV shows go on to be impressive characters in comics. I mean, Harley Quinn was created for Batman the Animated Series. And she was just so popular that they put her into the comics. And now she's kind of like a big character altogether. She started off on a TV show. So it's like, why don't you try doing something like that? Because when you bring me a like a well-established villain or hero and you race swap them or you gender swap them, it just kind of feels to me like you have zero faith that you can like give us a pre-existing character, or even a character of your own making. You have zero faith that would draw an audience. So instead, you're taking like a name that everybody knows, and you're making it a female, and it's like, yeah, it's like, but you don't have faith that like a female villain, that's an established female villain, could bring in audiences. Like that could be an interesting story, and I don't get why.
And
right?
they could make it interesting. Like I told you, they take a lot of liberties with how they do things.
I mean, women are heartless, man. Like they can make great villains.
They could, and I would take
Yeah.
an original villain over them taking like an established villain and turning him a different gender, a different race. Because then there's like this sort of disconnect. I mean, I could kind of take the race thing. Like if you want to make like a villain that's white and make him black for whatever reason, that's fine. I wouldn't have minded if they made who was that guy? The Thinker, like like if they had Samuel Jackson play him or something, I would have been like, okay, but it's not like the woman is the Thinker now. It's like it's strange. It would have been like a strange disconnect to me. But like, there's some things that I'll be like okay with, and I'll be like, all right, I can kind of look past this. But then when you change too much, like the disconnect gets to me, and I'm like, I zone out, and I'm like, yeah, no, I can't get into this. You've already lost me.
So, like, when we look at the situation with DC right now, actually, let me read this super chat because there's one more bit of comic book news I want to talk about. On the bright side, at least Batwoman existing means that Batwoman EFAP minis exist, not a total net negative. EFAP minis.
What is EFAP?
Is it EFAP?
I mean, I don't know.
I just don't know.
Seagull, anything could be possible.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay, so AT&T is looking to sell off Warner Brothers.
AT&T looking why?
Because buying Warner Brothers has been a financial loss for them.
Oof. That's not what you want to hear. Oh no.
Well, I think AT&T is like doing a merger with Discovery.
Okay.
But they want to drop Warner Bros.
Isn't that gonna be a little problematic?
Well, yeah, because they're talking about selling off DC Comics.
That's a big rip right there.
Yeah, right.
Oh no.
Yeah, like here's the thing though. If that happens, I think I think all these games that they have in the works be like go into jeopardy, right? It's hard to say.
What game?
Well, like they have Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League or whatever coming out.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Injustice 3.
Yeah, that's also one.
Yeah,
are they gonna make a Batman game? Like,
I think so. I mean, there are games in the works. There's also a game that takes place in Gotham. I think within the Arkham universe. No, maybe not. Whatever. You play as like the sidekick characters. You play as like Nightwing and Red Hood and everything.
I liked those games. They were quite nice.
Yeah, so like all of that stuff goes into jeopardy, I would say.
That sucks.
Yeah. I don't know how that would play out. It's just I think that would be your biggest concern, is that those would not move forward.
I think they would make something work if they were to get money out of it, though, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there is a little bit of hope, but like, still, yeah, that is kind of a big rip right there.
Yeah. So I personally don't know what's going to happen there. I would say though, if Warner Brothers sells DC, maybe there's hope. Maybe there's hope in the future that a competent company gets a hold of it, because Warner Brothers doesn't know what to fucking do with its properties. Like they really fucking don't. And like the DCEU shit is the biggest example of that.
Yeah, I heard the movies are kind of sucky.
Yeah,
like,
they're
they tried to be Avengers and they failed miserably. I heard.
Well, I mean, look, the thing is, Zack Snyder was not the person to be your Kevin Feige. Like he doesn't like the superheroes. He doesn't understand them. He thinks Superman is fucking Jesus, right? Like there's a lot of issues with that. Now the other thing is DC gave the directors free reign to do basically whatever they wanted with the projects, right? That's why tonally nothing kind of seems like it works together. But people go like they like the fact that the directors were able to do whatever they wanted, right? And I understand like on an individual level, but in terms of like building this expanded universe and shit, it just feels off. It feels really off. The Zack Snyder Justice League film, the uncut version or whatever, his super cut, his director's cut. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a better movie because it's like 4 hours long or something. So there's a lot of room in there to put together a competent story. But like, I would have hated that being the official Justice League movie universe. I mean, look at it. That's not the fucking Justice League. Like, it's really not. Like, your Batman is old as shit. Your Superman like fucking murders people. Like, and like, yeah, right?
Because is Zack Snyder's the guy that
Superman,
made fucking Watchmen?
Zack Snyder's Superman is a fucking sociopath. He sits there, a bomb goes off, and he's just sitting there while people are burning alive next to him. And I'm just like, dude, do something.
I don't think Snyder knows what a protagonist is.
Hold on. And then the police are there, right? And the fire trucks are there, and they're trying to save people. And Superman just looks and then just flies off like a prick, like an absolute asshole. Like, holy shit, man. And like, your Flash is annoying. I don't like Ezra Miller. And your Cyborg was probably your best character. Actually, you know what? Gal Gadot.
She's okay.
She's okay. Yeah. Gal Gadot and Ray Fisher. Those were your best characters. like that is not everything else is wrong.
Not your Superman. Your Wonder Woman.
I mean, like, I guess Aquaman is okay. I guess Aquaman's okay. But like, everything else is just so fucking bad. Like, I don't want
but like, your main characters, your main go-to formers of the Justice League are like lackluster. That kind of takes away from the whole thing.
You've only nailed 1/3 of your trilogy.
which is really bad. But
one-third of your trinity. Sorry,
Snyder's the one that made that Watchmen movie that was really dark and depressing, right?
Yeah, but like even that wasn't exactly faithful. But like it's still. It
was dark and depressing. Well,
yeah,
like that's Snyder's. Like that's how he makes his movies.
Yeah, I mean, like
you
look at 300 and everything. Zack Snyder is all about like these visual scenes, but like his ability to tell a story is fucking bonkers. It's fucking bonkers. Like I don't know, man. I just I feel.
Snyder sucks.
Yeah, like again, the issue with that was you should never have given Zack Snyder free reign to do all that shit. But now you have Warner Brothers going, okay, well, we're just gonna make Black Superman now, and I'm like, come on.
They're just trying to get people to like come in and like, okay, well, you know, Snyder flopped, right? But like, you know what time it is? It's time to pander, and then we can all forget about that. I think that's what's going through their head, actually, for being honest. They're probably like, well, you know, this flop, but it's, you know, when in doubt, let's pander and see if we can get people in. That's what I think their thought process is, honestly, when it comes to this move.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't think I'm too far off either, which is very sad, but that's how they work, which just kind of tells you they don't really give a shit. He just want to turn a profit at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah. Look, and again, I get it. I understand it. I just don't like any of it, and I think it's wrong, and I think they're wrong. But I again, if Warner Brothers sells DC, then I think that all of that gets undone too. And I would very much prefer they look at the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited series, right? The cartoons they did way back when, and look at how that came together. That's what you need to be doing, right? Those sorts of stories are what you need to be telling. You need to liven them up. You need to put your own spin on them. But like that's the formula right there, right? Look at how the MCU started. It went small, and then everything built onto the previous thing that came out, right? Everything expanded that universe. It wasn't done overnight. Like you need to follow one of those formulas. Either follow what DC has already done with those Justice League cartoons. I mean, it started off as just a Batman cartoon and grew into, you know, Justice League and everything, right? And Justice League Unlimited, which was like every fucking hero that they had.
Yeah.
Like it's possible. Like the first Justice League cartoon literally starts with all the heroes just getting together, right? Like no explanation, no fucking backstory, right? Like they don't go ahead and give you Batman's backstory and Superman's backstory and Wonder Woman's backstory. They just jump right into that shit, right? Like those are the fucking heroes. That's who you're working with. Here's the Flash, right? Like they don't give you anything, right? But like, you know what you're watching, like, and again, I'm just saying it's possible to jumpstart your universe that way. It was right, but like they had no fucking plan at all, and everything they do is just one fuck up on top of the next. I am somewhat excited though for Suicide Squad.
When is that coming out?
Suicide Squad. That is a good question.
Is it this year or next year?
It's this year. I just don't know exactly what date.
How is the
August 6th.
one? Oh, August. Okay. I mean, that's a good time to release it. Actually, how was the first one? I didn't like.
It was awful. It was awful. No, so what you got to understand is Guardians of the Galaxy came out at this time, right? And Guardians of the Galaxy basically took a team of heroes that nobody fucking cares about from the comics, right?
Yeah.
Like they have a fan base, and that fan base is very small and very niche.
Yes.
Like and the MCU does this movie and just fucking they just blow up, right?
They nail it out of the park.
Yeah, completely. And like none of those characters are really true to their comic book origins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Groot, maybe. You know what? Rocket Raccoon. Rocket Raccoon is like he's the only one who's faithful. But like the problem is DC sees that and they're like, well, we want Suicide Squad to be huge. So they already have this movie and it's done. It's like been edited. It's ready to go. And they go, you know what? We're fucking smart. We make movies. We're going to hire this team that does movie trailers, and they're going to cut this movie up for us.
Oh, God.
And they're going to make it even better. It's going to have music in it, and it's going to have these flashing intros.
Oh, no.
Like, oh, God, dude. It was a fucking shit show, right? Like, Captain Boomerang. Like, you know who Captain Boomerang is, right?
Yeah.
The guy with the boomerang.
Everybody knows Captain Boomerang.
Yeah. Fucking Captain Boomerang disappears like at the start of the second act of the film. Just like fucking up and disappears. And then right at the very end, just comes back from nowhere. You're like, where the fuck were you? Like, there's some like real problems with that movie. Like, no fucking joke.
Wait, so is this like a director's cut, like, or is this like a sequel? Was this?
No. Okay. So, Suicide Squad was so fucking bad. They're kind of just gonna pretend it didn't happen. I think. Like, they're just. It takes place in the same universe. Okay. The same actors are playing Amanda Waller, Harley Quinn, Lieutenant Flag, or Colonel.
What about Will Smith? Is he in there?
No, he's not in here. He's not in this one.
Why they cut him?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he was smart enough not to sign on for another project with DC. But so this new one, I think the same events that took place did still take place, but they're just not really going to bring them up, right? Yeah. And in this new one, James Gunn is actually the one who directed it. So you do have a more competent director this time. And the studio is likely not going to fuck with anything he does because they believe in his vision so much. But like, I looked at some of the trailers and legitimately it seems like a better film, right? It does seem like it's going to be a funny film. And they've got what's his face? John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena.
Yeah.
What about him? Where do they have him as?
He's playing Peacemaker.
I never heard of that character.
Yeah, very obscure character. Peacemaker's thing is he wants peace so much he is willing to murder everyone until he gets it.
That's interesting. It's an interesting way to go about world peace, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So yes, he's got like these really obscure, weird fucking characters in the film, and there's a ton of them, right? But like the thing is, you know, he's going to just do whatever he wants with those characters. Idris Elba's in it. Idris Elba's in this one.
Who?
Oh, hold on. Let me read this. Kerr, what's your opinion on Slipknot, the man who can climb anything in Suicide Squad?
Is that actually a character? Or is that a pun?
No, it's an actual character. Okay, look, Suicide Squad as a film makes no fucking sense.
That's great.
But like they introduced this character, Slipknot, right? Who's like a random character. Right? All the other characters in Suicide Squad, for the most part, are established villains, right? You had Deadshot, you had Harley Quinn, you had Captain Boomerang, who, yes, is an established Flash villain, right? Like,
yeah, they used him as a one-off in the CW. That's how established he is.
Okay, right, that's fair. Enchantress is an established villain. Now, like, the fire guy, I have no fucking clue who he is. I'm not gonna lie.
Fuck. Shit.
Like, in the comics.
I forgot his name.
In the comics, I have no clue who he is. But at one point in the film, Slipknot, a random ass character from the comics, just tries to make a break for it, and his bomb goes off, and he dies immediately. And I'm like, it would have been kind of fucking cool if you killed off one of the other people, and Slipknot wound up being like the star of the film. I would have fucking loved that. But yeah, Slipknot like just shows up and immediately gets executed. It's fucking great. It's fucking great.
That fucking movie makes no sense. I could tell. What the fuck?
Yeah, so this new one looks like it's an actual competent story, and like the main villain in it is Starro, which is a nice reference to the comics because Starro is the first villain the Justice League fights that brings them together.
Seagull says that Slipknot had about 90 seconds of screen time.
Yeah, he did.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he did. He fucking did.
That's awful.
Latchkey Goth Boy, thank you for the super chat. Mr. GG has a great review of Suicide Squad that rips it to shreds. The producers cannot hide from that creation. Yeah, no, like it is an awful fucking film. It's an awful fucking film. I don't know how else to describe that thing. It is a fucking monstrosity. But like the new one looks like it's gonna be good. I don't know. Like I hope Warner Brothers. I hope Warner Brothers does lose control of DC because I think they've done a terrible job. I mean, you have the most iconic heroes, other than Spider-Man. And you can't manage to tell like a
wait, in Suicide Squad, weren't there rumors that the Joker was going to show up and so was Batman, or they were going to like do something about that, like explain something?
Batman had a cameo.
Yeah, the cameo. How was that?
It was bullshit.
Oof. Yeah, well. Yeah, things are not going DC's way. So, like, I don't know. But then again, Marvel seems like it's going to head in like a bad direction soon anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Maybe they'll change it up. Maybe DC will become the next good thing, and then Marvel...
I mean, yeah, but you need a reset on so many things.
Oh yeah,
and
Jesus. They fucked it up. They fucked it up bad.
They did. Now there's talk, and this is just all a rumor, right? But there's talk that the Flash's movie, which is going to be Flashpoint, right, where Flash goes back in time and fucks something up.
Yeah. Classic.
That is the move they are doing for the Flash, and he's going to fuck up with the past, which will fuck with the current state of the DCEU and completely reshape it.
That's actually good. I mean, yeah. I think time travel can be very bullshit, but that's a smart way for them to reset all the shit they've done and all the damage they've done to their fucking property, honestly. So kudos to them for doing that.
Well, if they do that, like,
I think they 100% should. They'd be dumb not to do it. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I think what they should do, have Zack Snyder complete his vision in like an animated form or in a comic book, right? Give us the rest of his story, but like, do not give us more movies because I think it's just way too late. I think Ben Affleck's way too old. Right?
Yeah. That kind of turned me off a bit of like the wanting to see it too, because I'm like, why are they getting Ben Affleck? Like, this guy's old as shit. What the fuck? I think that's what Snyder wanted, but I don't think that was like the right move necessarily, right?
Well,
they wanted a more experienced Batman, but like, I don't know. I think they went a little.
No, he was doing the Dark Knight Returns as well as that's why he uses a suit. So that's the problem. That's an old Batman. It's very short-sighted, right? So, give us his story, but like tell it in a different form. For these movies, take what you have Flash reset things, and just move forward like that. But then you hear what they're playing with, like Black Superman and shit, and it's just like,
wait. So hold on. So Henry Cavill is not going to be Superman anymore.
I don't know. Like, I'm telling, like, these are the things that are coming out.
This is going to be ridiculous if the whole time travel thing, if they reset it, that's going to be fine because I personally think they should. But if that's going to be the excuse for why Superman's race is suddenly a different like race, that's going to be like very lazy and very stupid, and it's going to already be like destroying my immersion a little bit. It'll be like, oh, okay, well, here we go.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, if you want to tell an alternate universe story where that universe's version of Superman's black, I mean, that's fine, right?
Sure, yeah.
But like making the actual main Superman black, to me, is just, again, you have actual black heroes. Why not give one of them the spotlight?
Yeah. I think Green Lantern, one of the lanterns is actually black, and that's 100% canon. And he was actually, wasn't he like the Green Lantern that was used in one of the Justice League, what was it, like, shows? And it wasn't Hal Jordan for once?
Yeah, it was Jon Stewart.
Yeah, it was Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
I think like that was a pretty good move. I think they could actually, I wouldn't mind if they did that actually for this new universe, actually.
Well, like, my thing is, I would like to see some acknowledgement that Hal Jordan existed. But if you want to make Jon Stewart your main Green Lantern, I say fucking go for it. Like,
yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, someone said like there was a plan for a film where it was going to be Hal Jordan and he's training Jon Stewart, and I was like, dude, buddy cop film in space sounds fucking awesome. Let's fucking do it. Seagull says, thank you for the super chat. Spider-Man 4 homeless. Oh no.
Yeah, I told you anything can happen with Seagull.
Okay, so this is the official statement from Jeff Leach.
I love that ad you got right off the bat.
What?
The top thing? That's an ad, right?
What?
Above that? Go up. That's an ad, right?
That's an ad. That's
I love that ad right off the bat.
We here on Crows of Judgment are not supporting any political messaging when it comes to the vaccinations.
There's another great ad.
Fuck these ads. That was fucking brilliant. Guys, don't support any of those products. All right. But yeah, okay, so this is the official statement. Several members of the media have reached out about comics. Oh man. Eating dinner, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got?
An apple pie.
That's it?
Well, I had other things, but now I'm eating apple pie.
Apple pies are good.
Yes. Several members of the media have reached out about comments I have made, and I truly believe my viewers and the press deserve honest answers and an explanation. As you know, passion can be a double-edged sword. First and foremost, I am deeply passionate about creating great work, sharing that work with my audience, and using it to lift, entertain, educate, and connect more closely to my community. This extends to my acting work, live streams, and online contact I choose to have within the gaming community. That will never change. However, on the other end of the passion spectrum, I've also reacted passionately in situations where I felt attacked, targeted, or harassed, and I have very occasionally lost control. That's what happened to me with a couple of individuals in the gaming community. My rancor towards them was not only wrong, but also the antithesis of my relationship with my fan base and the inclusive message I try to promote. And for this, I am deeply, truly sorry. He said deeply sorry, but also ashamed. Transparency is a huge proponent of my online content. Anyone who has cared to watch a chunk of the 40 plus hours of live content I produce each week will be aware of this. However, the use of vitriolic language online always holds the power to cause harm. As stupid as I have acted, I am not an uneducated man, and I am not naive to this fact. It's one of the reasons I have been so vocal on my platforms about ending the toxicity and hate speech that exists in various facets of this industry. I'm remorseful for misrepresenting my true intentions and apologize to the individuals and business partners that I may have negatively impacted by these outbursts. This includes my incredible supporters, moderators who have worked so tirelessly to protect our little online community, and the companies who extended opportunity and trust to me and whom I have let down. I'm grateful for the words of support and understanding that I have received, and I want you all to know that lessons have been learned. My emotions are being worked on, and I will continue to be transparent and accountable to those who are generous enough to give me their time and interest. Jeff Leach.
Who had a better apology this week? Was it Jeff Leach or was it John Swan? John, what's up?
What's going on?
Can you answer that question, John?
Yeah, I'm curious what you think.
Who had a better apology?
Who had a better apology, John Swan or Jeff Leach?
I mean,
this apology or John Swan's current apology that came out like 2 days ago?
Given the fact that it's John Swan, I haven't seen his apology, but I'll just assume that by default Jeff Leach is better. Just because
you are correct.
Just because of the fact that, at least from what I've seen with John Swan in the past, he'll apologize, or he'll put it out there that he is that he's done something, right? He'll acknowledge he's done something bad. He'll give kind of a half-hearted apology, but then like within a few days, he's already kind of going back on whatever intention he put out in his apology, right? About either doing better or trying to improve as a person, but then his behavior doesn't speak to that.
Who, John Swan? Did you see
John
clips of his thing today?
Yeah, basically, he just like anytime he has that people have seen, at least, I've seen.
What happened?
He had a stream today, and people, of course, clipped him of certain parts where he didn't show what he was talking about in his apology, like better person gonna stop doing this shit. I don't care, because like, again, I'm not surprised. I mean, I already saw this.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't see his stream. I didn't even know about his stream. Here's the thing. What I'm talking about is like the stuff that he did on Twitter, right? After he gave his apology, right? His first apology. You don't remember? Like after his first apology,
I didn't pay attention. I stopped paying attention.
He was sitting there basically, getting upset over people, calling him a sociopath and things like that, and just kind of getting into it with people, and then just saying that he would not apologize to, I think, who was the kid that
what
was the name of the kid, Crow, that he had told the kid that he was going to grow up to be a pizza. That kid. Yeah. Remember, he basically said he wasn't going to apologize to the kid. I mean, eventually he did, but that he still wasn't going to apologize to him. And I think he kind of went off on somebody. Didn't he go off on somebody else too? Was it the Harley kid that he also went off on?
Oh yeah, he blocked the Harley too.
That's who he said he wouldn't apologize to. I'm not going to. He's like, I'll apologize to everyone else, but I'm not going to apologize to Harley. He can go, fly a kite basically. And why
does he hate these kids so much? What the fuck?
I don't know, but it just kind of like, you guys remember what I'm talking about though, right? You remember when he did that, Crow?
What you mean with Pie Man?
No, not with Pie Man. It was with the Harley kid, right? That he was basically like,
he was going to apologize to everyone but Harley. Oh, yeah. Like they all said that to Harley.
Like, basically. And he joined in on that, too. Like basically, I'll apologize to these guys, but screw Harley. And he was still kind of showing signs of not really have, that he really had changed.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's changed at all. Like,
and that's what I think too. I think the same thing. I don't think he's changed at all. I think he's just saying what he needs to say, right, to get into the good graces of people online.
No, man, what do you mean? I think that's true. John Swan's a king, man. He's good now. He said thank you to everybody who's been supporting me in today's stream and who's
okay. Well, hold on. We will talk about John Swan in just a second. Going back to Jeff Leach, though.
Right? He's actually on with Tipster right now.
Yeah, no,
nice.
That's what I was gonna say.
You should probably send him a question, Crow.
I want to watch.
I don't have a question though.
Yeah. Well, I heard a little bit of what I guess his apology, his whole apology thing. Apparently, that's one of the first things I guess he clarified when he got on with Tipster, because I heard a little bit of it, on my way home. But he, I guess, was trying to clarify the whole twit longer. I don't know if he ended up doing that or not, but he seemed to be getting into that. That seemed to be one of the first things he got into when he got on with Tipster. But I wasn't getting a good connection, so I just clicked it off. But he started from there. That's pretty much all I know. So I don't know if their interview has concluded yet, but I know that they had started, I think, from the whole twit longer apology thing, saying that people were, I guess, misrepresenting a little bit, but I don't know.
Look, I mean, my issue with that twit longer, and I don't think this is a misrepresentation at all, is he's not issuing an apology or accepting that what he had done was wrong necessarily. Like, how do I say this? Like, he talks about how he shouldn't have done it, right? But like, he's not going out there and saying, "Oh, zombie unicorn, I am so sorry for everything I've done to you." He's issuing the apology to his own community and his business partners and everything.
It's a very kind of open-ended, generic apology.
Yeah. So Seagull says, "Thank you for the super chat. Ask him why he's apologizing for not doing anything wrong, like an absolute beta." Like, I don't like my thing is, I think I know what's going on there. I think he's been told, "Hey, all these people are dropping you, and they're going to keep on dropping you until you issue an apology." And I'm just like, dude, it's already too late. You lost your partnership with Facebook Gaming. You're being canceled, and you're being like kicked out by your sponsors and shit, right? Like, you apologizing is not going to get them to rehire you.
No, that's what I think too. But his apology is a very generic apology. It's a very diplomatic apology.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When you read that apology, it's pretty clear that it's not something that he wants to do. It's not like it's something that he has to say.
Yeah. And
I'm sure he's going to deny that and say, no, I sincerely feel this way. And I get that. Like, you're going to have to do that.
Yeah, of
but
course.
like, yeah,
it doesn't seem very because again, like what you said, to point out what you said, and I think that that's true too. He doesn't address anybody directly in it. You know what I mean? So it's, one could look at that and say, well, he apologized to them. Well, actually, no, he didn't. He's just kind of, he's kind of generalizing. You know what I mean? It's, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's like a non-apology. It's just a very broad, very generic apology, a very diplomatic apology. It's just kind of, I guess the best way to put it, I guess, it's kind of like a blanket apology. It doesn't really, he's not really specifying, much of anything. I mean, he's just kind of saying general things like, okay, sorry if, it's almost like he's saying, sorry if you were offended by what I said, but maybe a little bit more specific. But I don't know. It just, it's a very, like I said, at least to me, it came off as a very generic kind of apology, just kind of like, and I feel what you feel. I think it's just kind of like, I'm just saying I'm sorry because,
yeah, because I'm being told that I need to say I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I kind of have to say it,
Yeah, no, that's what I think. Yeah, like I look at the comments and I'm just going, these are not things that I think this dude should be, fucking losing his career over. He gets fired as a voice actor, and I look at the people that have gone after him and it started this shit, and I'm like, you guys are fucking worse than these people than this guy that you're criticizing. Like, you've used the language that you're calling repulsive in like several different cases. I don't get how you're doing this to this guy. Like, he doesn't deserve this. It's pretty fucked up.
You know, see, the thing is, just to address what Solerdo is saying real quick, he's saying, I just don't apologize and completely burn all bridges. Good idea, guys. Here's the thing, though. An apology doesn't matter because all those bridges are going to be burned anyways.
Yeah, I mean, they fired him.
Once that firing happens and there's that chain effect of you're getting dropped by sponsors, you're getting unpartnered from Facebook gaming, you become radioactive. Nobody wants to deal with you anyways, regardless of whether or not you apologized. You're already radioactive. You're hands off. They don't want to have anything to do with you.
Yeah.
Because there's too much heat on you anyway. So it's not even about that, man. It's just like to me at that point, it doesn't matter. You might as well stick to your guns and be like, nah, not apologizing for shit.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it really is not going to make a difference.
I mean, it sounds like a bad idea when you say it like that. That's the problem. But like, there's a reason why.
But the thing is, but that's the thing. It does. But the thing is, but it's true. We've seen it time and time again with people that have apologized, right? Because the thing is, once you have that label on you, no amount of groveling and no amount of apologizing is ever going to really wash it off, especially once the ball is already in motion. Once those companies have already started getting rid of you, they're hardly ever forgiving. It's very rare that somebody will get rehired, right? You think Activision is going to go back and rehire Jeff Leach? No, of course not.
Yeah, exactly.
And why? Because they're going to cater to those people that even if they come to the conclusion, well, upon our investigation, we found that Jeff Leach didn't actually say anything sexist or that we find to be sexist, just to cater to those people that say, oh, but he is a sexist, right? Even though they have no real proof of that, right? Just out of context, things that he said, just because they're going to keep beating that same drum over and over again, Activision's going to just say, you know what? We don't want to fucking deal with this shit. We'll just be done with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's easier for them. They're just like, no, we'll just be done with them. We don't want to put up with this shit. So whatever.
I mean, yeah, like, I mean, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong there. Like, I think that's what is upsetting to see about it. Right. Because look, if you feel the apology is actually going to do something for you, right. It's obviously not, but if he's being sincere, like he's sincerely apologizing, I personally think that is a terrible move. But it's, how do you say it? Like, it's his choice to make that move.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much it. The ball's in his court. Look, the guy still he seems to have a lot of charisma, and he's built up, I think, enough of a base where he can really just do whatever, right? If he wanted to transition over into being like a content creator or just doing other things, I think he's built up enough of a base of supporters that he could. So,
yeah, I think you're right.
It just really all depends on him and what he wants to do. Because like I said, once those labels are slapped on people, they just, no apology is ever going to fix it. It just isn't.
Yeah. And again, it's frustrating to see it with this guy in particular, because the people that are doing it to him, right, they've gone after him before. Fucking Zombie Unicorn called for a cancellation of the guy in 2017. That the other guy, this Nitro Luke DX, has been beefing with him on and off for quite some time. Like, and they both used much worse language, and they've used it in a way that was clearly meant to be offensive, right? I'm talking about like using the gay slur and everything. But then you look at, and I'm like, how is it okay for these people to use these words, right? If your whole thing is the language being offensive and sexist and misogynist, why are you okay with these two individuals using that exact same language at people? Like, it's fucking bullshit. Like, it really is.
100%. And that's what I'm saying. It's just like, look, it's to me, it's just like you could acknowledge something wrong with that you did, I should say. You can acknowledge something wrong that you did. Because to me, in the whole situation, the way I see it, Jeff Leach probably could have acted a little bit more professionally when it came to how he handled some of those situations, because of the fact that he was working for Activision and all these other companies. I mean, again, he doesn't have to, because look, it's America. You can still do what you want. And of course, because of that, yeah, there's going to be consequences for actions. But, you know, to me, it's like he can say and do whatever he wants and he can acknowledge it. I don't think that you have to apologize unless he really feels, right? If he really feels that he needs to apologize and because he's really sorry for what he did, I guess fine. You know, that's fine. That's totally up to him. I don't think it should be apology just because he feels forced into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the way
that's pretty transparent too, I think.
Yeah, that's how it feels. It feels like he's just being forced into it. And again, like it's not going to change anything with the people that you're apologizing to. They don't give a shit. Like they're just going to keep on the whole thing that you're bad and you're horrible. And look, here's proof you admitted to it. Like it's nasty and it's awful, but like this is what these individuals do. This is who they are.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty much. Fragile egos, man.
Yeah. Now we have EDP.
Oh God.
What?
Yeah, the gift that keeps on giving.
Cupcake Man. Is he banned? He's banned off Facebook now. Nice. So DeLive next, maybe? Twitch?
Well, he's making his own website, so
all right. So people that went to that site said that it wasn't even running. So you know, I don't know. I haven't gone to the link, but
look,
I don't think that's
he's
positive.
gonna make it and it's gonna be popping and it's gonna be fly. And you're all just fucking haters and shit.
I think he's done with the internet. He's fucked on the internet. So he might have to actually get a job IRL, like a McDonald's or Burger King job or something. And then that's about it. I can't see him going anywhere from here. He's not going to be the same person. And like, I don't think these other companies, like, I don't think YouTube wants him on their platform. I don't think Facebook wants him on their platform. I assume Twitch and or DLive would act the same way. So I don't think he's, well, I mean, he did make the news though. Yeah, that's the thing. He did, and that's kind of a big deal. So he's not going behind bars, but he's crippled in going into the social media sphere at least. That's what I think.
Yeah, look, he's not going to stop trying to go into the social media sphere.
Well, no, of course not. The thing is, didn't he say he's launching a website anyways?
Yeah, but it's a dud apparently because he didn't hire like somebody to make the site for him. So I think he was trying to do it himself, and that's why it wasn't working. But geez. I guess if he decides to hire someone, he could try to do that. I guess. I haven't gone to the link or anything, but people went there and they were like, "Yeah, this thing isn't fucking working. Like, what the hell's going on?" Like, he probably didn't hire someone to do it.
I mean, yeah, he could always. I mean, that's the only other route that's really at this point is going to be available to him, unless he goes to a video uploading site that doesn't know his history, I guess, and doesn't have a strict terms of service. That's really his only other options I could see at this point is just put it behind a paywall on a website or just try to find a video uploading site or a streaming site that is not strict on their TOS.
Yeah, because I don't think, like I said, I don't think DLive, I don't think Twitch, I don't think Trovo, I don't even BitChute, I don't think any of these like places are going to keep him there for long if he goes by EDP or if he just stops by, unless he makes a new identity. But I don't think he'd want to do that because then he doesn't have the name EDP, and then people don't know who he is. He's just some fat guy at that point.
I mean he might have to if he wants to survive in the online space, he might have to completely rebrand. But the thing is, I mean, there's going to be those people that even if he were to do that, even if he were to rebrand, they're going to find him and they're going to be like, "That's EDP."
Yeah, like there's no getting away with it. How do I even say that? Like there's no way for him to just walk away from this, right?
No,
Like,
no, it's always gonna follow him.
yeah. So he's fucked. He's screwed. Like I said.
Yeah. There's gonna be people that are gonna, even if he were to rebrand, they're gonna try to get him the platform wherever he goes. So, just it is what it is. He messed up, but you know what? Like I said before, the dude he's wild, man. It ain't gonna stop him from trying.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true, but I guess we just have to wait and see what EDP does next. But let's watch the video.
Oh God.
He's gonna. Well, it's not just that one thing that we were talking about that's going on here. Also, because why not? He filed a restraining order against predator poachers.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So that's a thing. That's a thing. That's
Where's
going
the
on
video
now.
right now? If it, like, when did you make this, and where is it now? Like, where was this uploaded to?
I think it was uploaded to Facebook right before the ban.
If you're watching this video, you know exactly who the fuck you are. Let's cut the bullshit. Fuck the games. The time for bullshit and fucking around has come to an end. This shit has to fucking stop. You left me no other fucking choice. You're over here sending motherfuckers to my apartment complex, posting flyers and shit. You're over here on Reddit and Discord and all this extra fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Oh, massive manhunt for EDP and shit, putting my fucking life at jeopardy. You know what I mean? My fucking life is at fucking risk and shit, you know? You over here hiding behind a fucking computer screen. You think this shit is fucking funny? You think this shit is a fucking joke? See, the problem with you is that you cannot keep my motherfucking name out your mouth. You know what I mean? You always got to sit back, run your fucking mouth. You know what I mean? Always mentioning EDP this and EDP that. You feel me? You're over here going after my immediate family, going after my fucking close friends who I would take a fucking bullet for. You're over here trying to interview my ex-girlfriends and interview my dad and shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? Something in your fucking head.
And is that you?
What happened?
Fucking Sen.
What happened to Sen?
I don't know, but he's got to knock that shit off. Let me just mute him for a sec. Oh, wait, it's not Sen, it's you.
It's fucking John.
Jesus Christ, John.
What did I do?
Your background noise is atrocious.
Background noise.
Yes.
You talking about...
It sounds like there's construction work going on.
Oh, sorry.
What do you mean? Fix your mic.
I'll just mute there. Go ahead.
Oh my god. Okay. Wow, way off topic. What I was gonna ask was like, what do you guys think? Does he actually have the ability to do anything about these guys? Because technically, he has not been convicted in court of like committing a crime. And I guess you could see it as harassment if this is actually going on. But I guess Chet Goldstein or whoever would simply say that they didn't direct anyone to do anything. And it's just random individuals all doing it to EDP. So I don't think he can really. I think he's kind of fucked no matter what.
Dude, I haven't seen Chet Goldstein or like Gokinaru, you know, the guy that looks like Gokinaru, like in a hot minute. I don't know what happened to them. They just kind of disappeared.
They just fell off.
Well, I know they tried making another account and it got like found and reported immediately.
It's fucking hilarious. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so they're having a couple issues right
The
now.
hard knock life for the heroes, man. The heroes. We're heroes, guys. Shit.
Jesus, man, you're cruel.
I know.
EDP Wild. I don't know, man. I don't honestly. I mean, what more can be said about this guy, right? And he shouldn't be taken seriously at all. I mean, I doubt he's going to do anything. I doubt he's going to file any kind of restraining order or whatever.
He's banned off fucking Facebook. What else? Like, he can't do anything really. I think he has like literally no power anymore on like any platform. So how can you take him seriously? Really, you really can't. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't, but at the same time, he is out there. He is out there, and I don't know if he can go after people that are, you know, going out there and posting flyers and shit like that, because it seems like you could get in trouble, I guess is the best way of putting it. Not that I don't think like this guy deserves it, but at the same time, it's like you don't want to have to deal with shit like that.
I think if anybody goes to EDP's house, he should pull a boogie on them.
The EDP shit, is that what you said?
You should pull a boogie on them if anybody goes to their house or his house or whatever. I think that's the good ending.
I mean, that's probably what would happen, right? If he has as many arms as he claims to own, right?
Yeah. You remember that? You remember he was saying all that?
Yeah, I remember him saying all that. So I mean, if he actually has all the guns that he says he has, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he can do the twofer, like you remember the picture that Orr made, the twofer with Boogie.
Yes,
I feel like you're not taking. I feel like you're not taking him seriously.
Oh, totally not. Fuck that guy.
I mean, look, the guy talked about putting up a website. Obviously, that's not going his way. I mean, because you would think if he's really serious about that, right? You would think he would use whatever he got from his ad revenue, or have something squirreled away to pay somebody if he can't do it himself. I mean, he would actually get a plan in motion to do something like that, to organize and have a platform for himself, and that obviously didn't work. You know, he's obviously not capable himself, from what it seems like, especially if he's the one doing it all by himself, or maybe he just couldn't find anybody that was willing to take on the work because they looked into him. But then again, you know, there's things like Fiverr, right, where you could just hire somebody at random to do something for you, and he could have done that, could have gotten a website launched, but doesn't seem to want to do that. But you know, it is what it is. Those are just assumptions, though. There's no way to know for sure. He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that would follow through with anything he's saying. Really, we all know it's really more of a character.
I think what you're trying to say is he's a pussy.
Well, the way he portrays himself, I mean, it's obvious.
He was crying like in front of Chet Goldstein and not Gokinaru, the small guy that looks like him, and he was crying and begging for them to not call the police. And then he gets on Facebook cam, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh yeah, you a bitch, Chet Goldstein." And it's like this guy is so fake. He's such a fake piece of shit. Fuck this dude.
That's what I mean. It's just like that's why I don't believe anything. Like he's not going to file. I mean, he would probably start crying, filing a restraining order on somebody else. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, I can see him file a restraining order, but like all the fucking tough guy talk is just, when you hear it coming out of his mouth, you're just like, dude, you are such a bitch. Like, you are such a bitch. Stop.
Can you imagine? He's like, he does pull a boogie, but instead he's just like, I didn't want to do this, Chet, but he's crying while he's filling out the restraining order. I didn't want to do this, Chet. I don't want to do this. You made me do this,
bro. I'm sad.
Alex.
Actually, I'm kind of sad Chet Goldstein's not on the platform anymore. He was a fucking idiot, and it was kind of funny actually after a while. What, John? Did I tell you about how Chet Goldstein said that COVID practically gave us world peace in the world, and that's why we should be thankful for it?
Oh my god. Yeah.
This is why I thought about it for a while. I'm like, you know what? I kind of want this guy around. He's kind of an idiot, and it's kind of funny. Because he legitimately said, "Oh man, we should actually be fucking thankful for COVID, guys. The crime has went down dramatically ever since it happened. So nothing but good."
With takes like that, I mean, the saddest thing, I guess, the saddest thing about it is that so many other content creators are not going to get a chance to capitalize on hot takes like that.
Yeah. I mean, shit. I don't know if he could get much more nuclear than that. Like, holy fuck. It was like total, like, okay. Like, he already had told everybody he was anti-mask, and I'm like, okay, like, I kind of figured that, and I'm guessing his demographic is probably about that too. But when he just started going into, like, some justification for why, like, it wasn't even anti-mask at that point. It was just, like, embracing the COVID and trying to make it seem like it was, like, this thing that we needed in the universe that was going to solve all our problems. And he was trying to act like some pastor or something. Because, like, the crime levels have actually gone down since COVID came up, guys. And I was
Here's
like,
a blessing in disguise.
About? What is this guy talking about? What?
Aura is here.
It was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I don't know. What
Aura is a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is I heard Sam talk about Black Boogie or some shit. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well,
that EDP should
do you have a problem talking about Black Boogie?
No, I mean it's fine. It's accurate. I'm just curious. What's up with Black Boogie?
Okay.
Well, at least, hey, look. At least to Boogie's credit, he didn't cry when he pulled the gun off Frank.
I mean. No. He already did all the crying before. You know, it doesn't matter. No. Like I don't think he can cry anymore. Yeah. You know, like it's just like, you know, it's the do one thing and then another kind of thing is what I'm going for. You know, EDP like, oh, please don't. To the next day, fuck you. And same thing with Boogie. Yeah, fuck around, find out. Please don't make me shoot you. Like, so I'm like, yeah, it's the same fucking thing.
These tough guys.
Hey, he was on the edge, man. He was about to shoot him for realsies.
No, he probably shot a wild fucking duck that flew by for no reason because he had to give off a warning shot that no one asked for.
If it was an endangered species.
Yeah, I hope that would be great. Oh my god, he killed a whoopee crane like in fucking King of the Hill. Like, woo, loo. Boogie would have had to do that shit to bring it back. Oh no, I killed a fucking extinct whooping crane.
Like, oh shit.
That would have been great.
That would have been fantastic.
That would have been fucking amazing.
Yeah, Boogie trying to revive it, bro, or killing it? Like which part?
Boogie's a bitch, dude. I agree with you, Aura. Best take.
yeah, no problem.
Oh god, what have we covered already?
Like,
you guys covered?
Pretty much. This is where we're at with the Boogie. Fucking Christ.
Boogie.
Like this guy says, come and find out. Like he's literally saying, I'm gonna kill you, Frank Hassel. This guy shows up. And he just fucking shoots the sky, like to warn Frank Hassel.
He literally said, "I will end you, Frank."
look at Danny Claw's comment. It's fucking fantastic. Look at it. Look at Danny Claw's comment.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god. At least Boogie didn't thirst for children.
That's true. That's true.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Boogie will always have that. Boogie will always have
EDP. That. EDP will always have loving children or some shit.
EDP is the one that loves the children. What the fuck are you on, dude?
That's what I just said. EDP will always be the one loving children.
Yeah, I'm saying Boogie will always be the one
making threats and inviting people to his house and opening fire. Yes, I know.
Making
no one asked, no one cared.
Okay, all right. So what's this whole thing with DSP?
I don't know. He's a fucking bitch.
Oh my God.
Everybody. DSP is a fucking bitch. He got banned off something else.
What happened with DSP is that he finally, I guess, got the response for why it was that he was unpartnered from
Oh,
the Twitch partner program.
Is it because they call him the F slur? Oh, that'd be great.
No,
like
no. Well, apparently it was because of hateful things that he had said. But the thing is, he hasn't said anything
that he hasn't been saying for like 20 years.
Well, he hasn't said anything in probably like the last like 4 or 5 years. He hasn't said anything like controversial. So I guess my assumption is they went back all the way to the stuff that he had said beforehand and used that against him, because he hasn't actually said anything lately. Dude,
I'm not gonna lie, DSP's trolls are very fucking committed, and they're out of their fucking mind.
What do they call the Sons of Kojima?
Well, I don't even think it's them anymore, but collectively. But yeah, Sons of Kojima, because DSP said, what did he say? He said Kojima's a fucking cocksucker. And ever since then, like, like fucking spawned a bunch of trolls, and they named themselves the Sons of Kojima. Because that's rational.
Earned it. God fucking damn, he earned that.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, that's really the only update on the whole DSP thing, is that he finally got a response to why it was he was unpartnered, and it was
but wasn't he like
because of hateful remarks, basically.
Wasn't he begging people for cash?
I mean, he's always done that though. He's been doing that for years. I mean, he's been an e-beggar for years. He was the first really, he was the
e-beggar before e-beggar. He was the
basically
low
he was basically the poster boy for e-begging.
Mm-hmm. Because dude, that's why he even lost his monetization. He lost his chance to be part of AdSense, because he was pushing people like, oh, go click, and you can't force people to click on links because you're manipulating the fucking what is it? What are you manipulating?
It's called click bombing. It's basically when you click on the ads, because when you click on the ads, that's more revenue that YouTube gets. So what he was doing is he was having his fan base basically click bomb his videos. You can't do that. They tell you that when you become a YouTube partner, they tell you can't do that.
Yeah.
So he was doing that, and he lost the dummy lost his monetization because of it, because he was telling people to click bomb his videos.
Yeah.
So there's no love lost for Darkside Phil. I mean, like he's a living meme. It is what it is, and like I said, he was the first guy that I can remember online that really kind of was the poster child for e-begging.
No, dude, he's always been like that. And the thing is, like, because I talk to you about DSP every once in a while, John. Like he was onto something. He was ahead of his time.
He was, he really was. I mean, he said, look, people can, like I said, he's a joke now, but the thing is, look, truthfully speaking,
he was one of the first Let's Play fucking YouTubers out there.
He was one of the first. He was one of the first ones to become very prominent online.
Mm-hmm. He used to record his fucking screen with like a camcorder, dog.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff that. Like especially not just the Let's Plays, but in the fighting game community too. He was one of the first online prominent figures in the fighting game community. Even though he wasn't a good FGC player, he wasn't. You know what I mean? He was like a mediocre player, but because of him getting lucky and really capitalizing on the fact that he got lucky at a tournament, he fucking wrung that shit dry. And was able to he was able to build an audience online because of it. So,
and this is back then when toxic community and edgy humor was like at its fucking like it's forming. Oh my god! And Ventrilo shit, he fucking profited from that like crazy. Dope. Anyway, he's a fucking loser now, but whatever.
And he's fat. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is with DSP. I mean, I guess did you already talk about the Dr. Phil, the kid, the Tanacon?
No, I have not talked about Dr. Phil. We have two more topics for tonight: Dr. Phil and the geopolitical situation going on in Israel.
Did you talk about Ed Schroyer?
Who?
Ed fucking Schroyer. You didn't talk about Ed Schroyer?
I have no clue who you're talking about.
The fucking sheriff that dumbass Chris Hansen, interviewed for the Onision thing, and he was on the Onision documentary.
What about him?
Chris Hansen.
You don't know what happened? Fucking Sheriff Ed Schroyer called like his entire unit to go fucking survey and like subdue a black fucking newspaper delivery boy, saying that the fucking
Bobby Boucher's fucking dad, bro.
Yeah, dude, dead ass. And then like he's like he threatened to kill me. I have him like boxed in, so all like the entire fucking squad was there. And what is it? They pull up and he's like, I'm trying to deliver newspapers. He's been following me, you know. And then they're like, so did he threaten you or not? He's like, no. Fucking he changed his story out of nowhere. And you know,
no.
He basically racially profiled the kid.
Ed Troyer,
they're calling for his resignation, dude. They're calling for his resignation.
Ed Troyer, you just pulled a racism.
But isn't it funny that yet somebody else that Chris Hansen was associated with completely trashes his credibility in real time?
It's great.
So there's that. Yeah, that happened. You didn't watch Diorio's video, bro?
It was in there.
That's what he basically ended it on.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that was the end. That's how he basically cleaned everything up there at the end. Was giving an update on good old Ed Troyer.
I watched everything other than the end of the video.
Yeah. Or look,
it was a long video. I'm not used to him putting out videos that long. Okay, so we need to discuss Dr. Phil.
Is he not a real fucking doctor?
Look, Aura. He's not a real doctor.
Bless you.
Bless you.
You sound like Jay Sherman from The Critic. I was waiting for you to go.
Leave me alone. Okay, so Dr. John, put your mic back on and tell the audience about Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil is a balding, used to be more fat man.
Tell the audience why we're talking about Dr. Phil tonight.
Well, Dr. Phil recently had on Michael Weiss, the organizer of the now infamous TanaCon, who, for whatever reason, decided it would be a good idea to approach Dr. Phil and tell Dr. Phil that almost 3 years removed from TanaCon, he's still getting harassed by people online that are telling him to off himself. And basically, he wanted to come on Dr. Phil because he wanted to get help. You know, I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that he's trying to get some degree of relevance again by digging up the past. But you know, hey, what do I know?
How can you accuse him of such a thing without even knowing this man?
Was literally going to say I forgot all about this fucking guy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everybody had forgotten about the whole TanaCon stuff by now. It's just like, why are you going on Dr. Phil? I mean, to me, it's obvious that he's just trying to push himself into the spotlight so that he can get some kind of relevance again. And what's the best thing for him to do? Yeah, is revive the whole TanaCon incident. It's just like, it was a disaster. It was awful. Who cares?
Paul, you're right. He has a PhD, I think, in like sports medicine or some shit. Like fucking Dr. Phil has a PhD in sports medicine or something. What?
Is it sports psychology?
No, he's not a psychologist whatsoever in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I know. He has no.
No, yeah. Dude, oh wait, no. It's not even fucking sports medicine. It's not even that. I think that was my old principal. Fucking Dr. Phil has a fucking PhD in what do you call it? Philosophy. It's even more useless.
Yeah, that's right.
Ha. That's hilarious. That is legitimately fucking hilarious.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's even more useless. It's the most useless thing. Fucking philosophy.
God damn, what a bitch.
So yeah, he had Michael Weiss on, and what the interesting thing to me is that it was actually a two-parter that he had this kid on, and this kid was basically, he claims that the reason he came on was to try to get help from Dr. Phil because he's still getting harassed, which is probably true. I don't doubt that he probably still does get messages and emails. You know,
well, he does now. Like shit.
But that's the thing. That's the thing that I think is really stupid about him going on to Dr. Phil, because he's just going to remind all the people of what he did, and now he's going to get more harassment. It's just like you just kind of thrust yourself back into the spotlight, and now more people are going to freaking harass you. Not that I'm saying they should. I mean, but it's just you're reminding people of what you did. And the thing is, he goes onto the show, he talks about what happened, right? And then he kind of deflects responsibility for it. Actually, another YouTuber went on there. I think what's her name? Swell Entertainment. She went on there and she confronted him because apparently she went to TanaCon, so she witnessed firsthand like all the shit that went down there. But the thing is, the whole event, like he's sticking to this lie for whatever reason in the episode of Dr. Phil that they had like 6 months to plan it, when there's evidence to suggest that that was not the case, that they maybe spent close to a little over a month, maybe close to 2 months actually planning the event, which it was never, you can't plan an event like that in that amount of time. There's just no way it's going to go down. Not with how ambitious.
It's a fucking disaster.
Yeah, not with how ambitious you're planning it to be. There's just no way that was going to happen. Especially not at that venue. That the venue that they got could only hold at best, and that depends on the setup. At best, it might hold 1,000 people at any given time, and that again depends on how the room would have been set up.
Didn't people pass out? They stood in the sun and they were dying, and they got condoms in bags instead of water. You know, like that. Isn't that what's happening? Yeah, it's called a Tanacondom or some shit.
Yeah, supposedly, yeah, out the people that were waiting on the sun, you know, there was some people that were breaking out in hives and stuff, and supposedly, I don't know if anybody had heat stroke or anything like that, but there was
people died. People died, John. There were lives lost, not really. But what is it? No, you want to know why she gave you a Tanacondom? You want to know why she gave you a Tanacondom? Because you got fucked. That's why you got a condom in the bag, dog.
or I don't think your jokes are very family positive or friendly.
Then I'll leave. I'll see you later. Then
no, you can't leave. But I need you to take on a more positive attitude.
I will gladly fucking leave. I don't have to be back.
No, I know. I need you to just take on a more positive and friendly attitude for the folks that
know, man. No, I don't know. No, it's not going to happen.
I mean, almost absolutely. You could try.
No, I'm not going to.
I don't know. I'm okay with your attitude right now. So
no,
I don't know. I don't know. I feel it's very uppity and confrontational.
No, yeah. I don't care. You got condoms. They gave you condoms because they fucked you. They stole your money.
Barbie's version of Fire Festival. Thank you for the super chat, Latchkey.
Yes. Oh, Fire Festival is perfect to compare it to. Oh, that's great.
All right.
Well, not Fire Festival. You remember DashCon, Aura? That too. I mean, it was just a colossal failure. The thing is, it was an overly ambitious convention that they were trying to put together with nowhere near the amount of time and planning, and not even the right venue. And the thing is, I remember when all that shit went down because I looked into that kid, and I had looked into some of the events that he had done. Okay, and he hadn't hosted any event with anywhere remotely close to 5,000 people attending, because that's the projected number that they wanted. They wanted it to be something like 5,200 people is what they were hoping to have that venue host. Now, mind you, the venue itself, like I told you, depending on how you set up that room, at best might fit, and this is being very generous, might fit 1,000 people, but they were wanting to get 5,200 people approximately into that building. And the thing is, given the nature of the guest list that they had announced, or the people that were expected to be there, more than 5,000 people were going to show up, potentially. So,
fucked it up.
Yeah, big time. It's just like there was no way they were ever going to pull that off. And the thing is, that kid, that Michael Weiss kid, he had only done events where he had maybe hosted, and he had done meet and greet events that had hosted maybe as much as 200 to 500 people. And I'm being generous when I say 500 people, because he probably never even got that many people to come to one of his events.
Well, the stupid thing is, he's known for rolling around on his Segway while everyone was dying in the fucking line, and he's telling everyone that like they need to fucking go home. You know, that's what he got known for. But I gotta go for real. So I'll talk to y'all later.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye. Okay. So, well, all right. So that covers that. Now, John, the reason why I wanted you on tonight. John?
Yeah, I'm here.
The reason why I wanted you on tonight is so we could discuss the geopolitical issues involving the current conflict in Israel between the Israelis and the Palestinians. What are your thoughts on what we are seeing on the ground today, sir?
I mean, I'm not surprised that this is. I guess the only thing I could really say, because look, truthfully, I need to really find out a bit more about it. But I'm not surprised. I mean, this is something that, you know, there's a history there between these countries, and there's always going to be some degree of tension or conflict. Surprising though, I think what's interesting though is that none of this shit happened when Trump was in office. Just saying. But it just I don't know, man. It's one of those things that I don't think is ever going to end in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope, you know, one could hope, but I don't know, man. I really don't have much to say about it. I'm just not all that surprised, I guess, is what I would say.
Okay, all right. I apologize. I wasn't being very clear. What is your solution?
What is my solution?
Yeah. Everybody seems to know what to do, right? And they all have these brilliant ideas. And you know, I was just wondering, given that, you know, everybody knows what to do here, what would you do? What is your solution?
Well, I see what you're getting at. That's the thing. It's just like I don't know, because it's a long-standing issue. You have people in power that obviously are going to push their own agenda when it comes. They're going to jump at any chance to fight back. I mean, like we were talking about it briefly earlier today, and yeah, what's happening in Israel right now, it's happening because of opportunity. You know, the Hamas is taking advantage. They're shielding themselves with
like
innocence.
we were talking about this earlier today in all seriousness, and you know, because I'm Palestinian, and I guess people just assume that means that I support everything the Palestinians are doing, yada yada yada. I'm like, don't even, because when people talk about the Palestinians, what you need to understand is the group that is in control in the Gaza Strip is Hamas, right? It is an actual terrorist group. They have actually committed terrorism. And when you look at this latest conflict, it did start because missiles were fired from the Gaza Strip into Israel, right? Yeah. And, you know, when you listen to people that are on the left, or like the fucking the fucking people just absolutely cannot stand what Israel is doing, or can't stand the idea of Israel, they make it sound like anything that Israel has done should then excuse what the Palestinians or what Hamas does later, right? Mm-hmm. And I understand that Israel has encroached into the Gaza Strip, right? Yeah. And there needs to be something actually done about that. However, it becomes kind of impossible for me to look at a situation and go, oh yeah, you know what? Because they've done this, you can go out and get some fucking missiles and fire them at schools and shit, right? I'm totally okay with that. Like, no, obviously not, right? But what happens is Israel will encroach into the Gaza Strip, right? And they do it very slowly. They have done some really awful things there, but they'll do something like that. Then the Palestinians will fucking start throwing off bombs, like fucking buy missiles and throw the missiles straight into Israel. And what you got to understand is the money that they are using for those missiles and shit, that's the money that's being sent into Gaza as aid for the Palestinians, right? Like that money is going into buying fucking weapons to attack Israel with.
It's being misappropriated.
Yeah. And then Israel, not the people, but like the government there, looks at a situation like that, looks at missiles being fired in on them, and they say, you know what? First off, that's war, right? We are going to defend ourselves, but also we're going to take advantage of this situation, right? And we're going to go in and we're going to further encroach into the Gaza Strip. We're just going to take more land. And like it happens every time that way. So you can say that the Palestinians are defending themselves, but that's wrong. They're firing missiles to kill people, right? And you can say that what the Israelis are doing is wrong. And I would say, well, yeah, like, yeah, they're clearly taking advantage of this chaos for their own benefit. But at the same time, if the Palestinians, if Hamas stopped firing fucking missiles into Israel, the Palestinian people would still exist, right? They will. Yeah. If Israel shut off all of the fucking high-tech security that they have to shoot down missiles that get fired at them, and just said, hey, we're gonna stop all activity in the region, and we're gonna bring everyone back home, they'd be wiped out like in a day, right? They'd be wiped out in a fucking day. We all know it, right? So I look at it and I go, we have this issue where I'm like, nobody is a good guy here, right? Nobody is a good guy here. And I don't need to hear the arguments of, well, it was Palestine first, and then, oh, but the Israelis lived there first historically. I don't give a shit. It's a shit situation for both parties involved. And nobody is helping it when they try to like sensationalize on stories going on there. Or when they, beat the drums of war, thinking that's going to solve anything, or when they blindly take one side and think that there is like an actual good role model to like, or not role model, but like a good party to follow, right? Yeah. Both sides are bad, right? But the problem is, and it's literally this issue you have with people that sit on the left versus people that sit on the right. When the left looks like a global conflict, they look at both parties and they decide, well, the person that's in the right is whoever doesn't have as much power, right? That because they're clearly being abused by the person who has the power. Probably you have people on the right is this like, I don't know if you want to call it fear or just like plain stupidity, where they think that you need to have Israel in the Middle East because without Israel there, the U.S. has no allies in the Middle East or something stupid like that. I don't understand it, right? The fact of the matter is we probably shouldn't be there at all. We should let the people there figure out what they're going to fucking do and only get involved if, it gets all genocidal and shit. Yeah. But as far as like these conflicts, the fucking missile strikes, yeah, the fucking Hamas fired missiles first. Like, there you go. And now Israel is defending itself because they were the ones who were actually attacked. And the typical groups show up to defend both sides, right? Pretending like one party in there is somehow good or gooder than the other. Like, it's just a fucking mess, man.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's one of those things that I don't expect it to be fixed in our lifetime, to be honest with you. But
yeah. And people like it.
But like I told you before, war is good for the economy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People in those countries, that's people. There's always people that are going to profit from a war. So
that, unfortunately, is very true.
Yep.
Well, bit upsetting to end it on that note. But like, I find it so stupid. Everybody's talking about this shit and acting like they have a solution. I'm like, nobody has a solution.
Nobody does, and they won't. They won't. They'll just keep, springing out about it, regardless of what side they're on the argument. I mean, but look, it's tit for tat. It's really that's what it's always going to boil down for. It's always going to be freaking tit for tat when it comes to these countries. So
yeah. Well, guys, I don't have anything else for tonight. John, thank you for coming on. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in again. We will be back Monday. I'll try to get some more videos out. There was someone at work has a family emergency, so I'm covering extra time at the office, so it might be a little bit hard for me to get videos out this week, but I'm going to try. But I will see you all here Monday, and the monthly rewards for the members for the channel and on Patreon will be going out, should be going out tomorrow for everybody. So look forward to that. Crow, the change.org petition hit 35,000 signatures. The conflict will be over soon.
just like
Thank you for that.
Just like they're gonna get freaking Eugenia Cooney freaking deplatformed.
Oh, dude, that shit is annoying as fuck.
That's so fucking dumb. We should talk about that next stream, though.
Yeah, like I have so many feelings about that. It's honestly frustrating. Anyways, I think you know what time it is, right?
I know what time it is. Do it.
You do?
Yeah, do it. Do it.
It just takes a second. Okay, there we go.
I am Dark Side Phil.
All right, everybody, have fun. Have a good night.
I really need to make this fucking money. I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I'm done. Why am I poisoning? What? Why am I toxic? Why am I toxic?
Feels a faggot. Feels fat. Feels a loser. Feels a loser. Feels a faggot. Feels fat. Feels a loser. Feels a loser.
I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Why are you doing this to me? I just can't do it. Real talk, why? Anybody that says they have Avalar. Anybody that says they have Avalar. We made $1 and lost 1 subscriber. So you guys earn 3 minutes of commercials. I don't spill my fingers. I touch my face. Did something that's a twitch. Did something that's a twitch. Got no bitch in my blood. 0 bitch in my blood. Honestly, straight live in people's faces. I don't spill my fingers, right? That was my depression. I need that money. Pay my bills, electric bill, the internet bill. That was my depression. I need that money. Pay my bills, electric bill, the internet bill. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Why are you doing this to me? I just can't do it. Why am I toxic? It was like a lonely. Why am I toxic? It was like a lonely.
Feels a faggot. Feels fat. Feels a loser. Feels a loser. Feels a faggot. Feels fat. Feels a loser. Feels a loser.